What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pitch Pass Podcast. I'm Brett.
And it's me, Brando.
How's it going, everybody? This
So
is
I hope everyone.
this is our last divisional breakdown here.
I know the last of our off-season updates. I'm I'm just gonna go ahead and just say this one right now, so we don't have to reshoot the NFC South for a third time. And Jensen went down.
Yeah,
Probably gonna be out for the year. Their center. I think they're still gonna win the division.
I
They also
don't.
signed Julio. They signed Julio Jones.
Julio looks good. I don't know how many games he's going to play. I hope he plays at least 10 games. We both
Mhm.
feel that this is Julio's last year. Makes sense why he signs with Tom Brady. You want to
I
sign with the
know.
greatest tight end, the greatest quarterback of all time. Gronk might come back, honestly.
Gronk won't come back unless three things. The Patriot, not sorry, I almost said the Patriots. The Buccaneers are rolling.
Yeah,
Tom Brady asked him to come back,
yeah.
and it's already halfway through December.
Yeah, they have to be on pace to be like a 10, 11 plus win team for Gronk to want to come back. With Jensen
Honestly,
being
more
out,
than that, he would be like rolling people, and even at that point, why would he even want to come back?
yeah,
I just don't think Gronk is coming back. Honestly,
yeah, especially with your Pro Bowl center going out, you understand that you're gonna have to be blocking a lot more. So, uh,
and also like it's about his body at the end of the
yeah,
day.
I completely agree.
You made enough. You made enough money. You won another Super Bowl, but when you
Yep,
came back, like what more do you have to prove?
pretty widely renowned, considered the greatest tight end of all time. So,
Yeah,
uh,
like a lot of people, at least the most dom. I think Gronkowski has the same debate for being the best tight end of all time
mm,
that Shaquille O'Neal has for being best center of all time in NBA.
okay,
I think both of them were the most dominant at what they did.
that's fair, and with some longevity, some form of longevity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and of course injuries eventually being what like crippled them at the end.
yeah.
And maybe questionable work ethic.
Well, yeah,
Regardless,
it is what it is.
it is what it is.
So today, I think you guys have probably noticed we've gotten a lot more informal with these and get a lot more sidetracked as we go on, as we just went on about other teams and other other divisions for a few minutes here to open up.
Yeah.
But this is probably the division we're most excited for in the NFC. Um, NFC East is going to be interesting, but we both feel pretty consensus that Eagles should win that division. NFC
Mhm.
South, we debate who's going to win, but we both feel like the Bucks and the Saints can be playoff teams. This division is a lot more up for grabs.
The North
Obviously,
is pretty much a runaway.
yeah. Oh, I yeah, I hope so. Um, the Rams obviously won the Super Bowl last year. 49ers were in the Super Bowl 3 years ago. It's crazy to think that was 3 years ago now. That's wild.
And
Um,
Patrick Mahomes, people are going to start questioning: is he ever going to make it back again?
oh God, yeah. It's only
Is
three
it
years later. Oh, two. Well, I mean,
3 years later?
He was there with the Bucks 2 years ago, but
Yeah, I know. Is
will
he
he
ever going
win
to win
another
another
one?
one?
Yeah,
I don't.
very soon.
Hey, he very soon,
Yeah,
very soon.
absolutely. We'll save that
He
for
said,
another.
"I'm saying this year." He said, "This year, right now."
Well, no spoilers, but my Super Bowl picks are 49ers Chiefs. So, but speaking of 49ers, let's just get right into it. Um, so the 49ers draft class. The 49ers have a pretty solid roster overall. Trey Lance is now going to be the starting quarterback. They just signed Debo at what, 72.9, 73.9 million
Yep.
dollar max contract.
Brought the wide back. I have the number one like target in that passing game. I you've got to be excited for Trey Lance's first year
Oh,
starting.
no
First
question there.
time Shanahan has had this combination of being able to throw the ball deep down the field, and being an athlete since Robert Griffin III.
True.
And honestly, I think Trey Lance is just his build and the way his running style
Hmm.
is different from RG3's. I think he's more likely to last a little
It's
bit
less
longer,
dangerous, yes.
less dangerous. I think about what he's gonna do right now. I've been paying attention to training camp. He's been a little up and down.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see when he actually starts playing against defenses that are not the 49ers defense.
me too.
This is going to be a top 3 unit in the NFL
Absolutely.
next
Yeah.
year.
I
The
mean, no
secondary,
lower than top 5, but yeah,
yeah,
probably.
that defensive line's fantastic. Nick Bosa is going to be right up there
Hmm.
competing for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
You said about their draft class, they drafted Drake Jackson, who should hopefully fill in for what D Ford was supposed to be there in San Francisco. But instead of just being a liability, they also went and got They got Ward from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
That's gonna be a big. That was a big signing. Having played opposite of Mosley, and with the heavy rotation they have on the defensive line, maybe we'll see like that front four and like the back end kind of mesh and maybe cause a lot of turnovers to happen.
Hmm.
And of course, they have the best linebacker in the NFL and Fred Warner.
Yep.
It's gonna be a good unit. I think it's similar. I think this roster is very similar to the Packers,
Yeah.
and to that there isn't like any huge major holes.
Yeah, on offense or defense, but especially defensively, very, very strong team. They're both teams that are like assembled for championships.
Yeah, this is a champion. It's a championship caliber roster,
Yeah.
and
Um,
with Kyle Shanahan being the trigger man, like calling the plays, it 100% is.
I think it's really interesting how the Packers kind of adapted their team style um,
Mm.
since losing to the 49ers. I think kind of switching to that more defensive oriented with the tandem of running backs that you have in Green Bay, and with how the 49ers have kind of used like that whole committee of running backs, um,
Mhm.
just kind of pacing the offense because either way you're gonna have like somewhat consistent quarterback play. I hope from Trey Lance. I hope Trey Lance is going to be really good. But obviously Aaron Rodgers, you have the most accurate quarterback of our generation, if not all time. And with Trey Lance and Aaron Rodgers, you both have that physical upside of being able to heave it down the ball, heave it down the field if you have one of those more athletic receivers. I just think it's really interesting. Defense wins championships, and both of them have really built around that defense. But they've both acquired. Obviously, the 49ers put a lot of picks in. They what 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance, something like that. Um,
Yeah,
so I mean, obviously they're betting their future on him. Um,
and as you know, and how a lot of people who follow me on Twitter know, I'm a big Trey Lance guy. I'm a believer in him. His skill set is through the roof. I think the ceiling is the roof. Michael Jordan quote for Trey Lance. I think his skill set and how smart he is, there's nothing that he can't do on a football field.
mhm.
And it's just about putting it together consistently for him. I think for this first half of the season, they're gonna ease him in. They're gonna run the ball more. It's gonna be more about him just not committing big turnovers. And I think after we hit like the midway point of the year, where
Mhm.
Kyle Shanahan's just gonna open it up.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, there's just so many weapons. When Juwan Jennings is the fourth option in your passing game, it is fantastic. That's a solid number 3 option in a lot of different teams. George Kittle is an all-world tight end,
Yes.
which no
Arguably,
matter how you
arguably number one, but
honestly, George Kittle, I would say is for me he's the best tight end in the NFL, just because I think Kelsey's a little bit of a better route runner,
mhm.
but I think Kittle is a little bit more explosive with the ball in his hands at this point in his career, and is a little bit of a better blocker.
I would agree with the latter of the things that you said, but I still think Kelsey's better just because of his raw athleticism and capabilities as a receiver. He's very willing to block, and with his contract and everything, I think it's just the mindset for me. I mean, it
Yeah,
helps that he's on my team, but you know,
yeah. It,
the just like
it
more
also
selfless
I would
mindset.
say he's been healthy.
Yeah,
Kittle's been had some health issues over the past 2 years,
yeah. Um,
but
but
also they also have Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk to go with Kittle,
mhm,
and it and of course the running game that Kyle Shanahan is famous for, the
yes,
zone running scheme. They did lose Raheem Mostert, but it's okay because they still have their young running backs that they drafted last year. They still have Elijah Mitchell. Maybe Trey Sermon can step up and have a good year.
mhm,
And also, they drafted Davis Price out of LSU this year in the
yes,
second in the third round,
third,
so that could be another guy. Also, Danny Gray, wide receiver, they drafted out of SMU,
mhm,
speedster, really fast wide receiver. Maybe during that later half of the year, maybe him and Trey Lance, if they can have a little continuity between the two of them, that could be a deep threat.
mhm,
Add just another layer for a playoff push. Like you said, this is one of the teams that I think is going to be in the Super Bowl this year.
mhm.
I think it's going to be San Francisco, Baltimore,
Okay.
but we'll talk about that on a different day. We'll have that be a different podcast.
I thought you
So
had the
let's go
Chargers this
on.
year, to be honest with you. I thought you said Baltimore
I,
was next year.
yeah, no, I think Baltimore this year.
Okay.
I've been swayed by just how much I've seen all the criticism of Lamar
Oh,
Jackson,
he's gonna
and
go on a tour. Yeah.
I think he's good. I think he's just going to tear people apart.
Yeah.
I also think the 49ers are going to tear people apart just by looking at their schedule.
Yeah.
So
Real.
they open up the year with Chicago, which is
A free
just
win,
going to be
basically.
ass whoop.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be bad. So, and then then they play Seattle. I think they beat Seattle.
Mhm.
Denver, prime time. That's going to be a good game.
I agree.
That's going to be a good game. Russell Wilson against the 49ers, Denver Broncos. We can really see how good Trey Lance is against a really good secondary and pass rush.
Mhm.
Then October 3rd against the Rams. That's going to
Yeah.
be another primetime game.
Yeah.
That's two real big tests for Trey Lance there.
So I think because this is a primetime game, I think the Rams managed to win this first one, but I think
Mhm.
ultimately they split the series.
Oh yeah, I think the Rams and 49ers split the series. I
Okay.
don't know where exactly. It's really interesting. It's within the same month.
Yeah. It's just the beginning and the end, the first and last
Yeah,
game of the month. Yeah.
pretty much.
Panthers, that should be a free win.
Panthers,
With your
that's.
defense versus that offensive line, that should be a fucking Happy Meal game. They should serve it to you with a smile.
Would you rather play Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold? Would you
Um,
rather play against?
oh, Sam Darnold. Especially with that defensive line, he's going to throw 4 picks.
I would rather play against Baker Mayfield just because as an opponent, I know what I'm getting with Baker.
That's fair.
Sam Darnold is such a loose cannon.
Yeah, that's true.
Like anything is possible.
Yeah, I feel like what I've seen with Baker, I guess Baker does have some really bad turnovers when he's pressured. But I think with Darnold, it's when he sees the line pressing, I feel
Mhm.
like both of them are just gonna
Both are bad.
suck. Yeah.
Both are bad. It's literally the Panthers trading for Baker Mayfield was such a favor
Yeah.
to Cleveland. And because honestly, he's not that much better than Sam Darnold.
Just
If he is,
why? Yeah.
if he is even better than Sam Darnold,
Yeah, I mean, consistency, yes, but if you consider their situations, I know we talked about this before with Carolina, but like, it just doesn't make sense in any aspect that you look at it.
yeah. But anyway, that'll be a game where they roll him over. Then they'll probably beat up on the Falcons the week after that.
It very much should, yeah.
Um, two back to back, well, three really good game. Well, four. They have a bunch of really good games here in the center. They
Hmm.
have the Chiefs and the Rams both in that 4:25 time slot for Eastern time zone.
Hmm.
Those should be two really good games. Then they play the Chargers in prime time, Cardinals in prime time,
That should
Saints
be a
at a
fun
four
one.
o'clock game, Dolphins at a 4:05 game, Bucks at a 4:25 game,
Hmm.
Seahawks, Commanders, Raiders, and then they end the year with the Cardinals. So
Yeah.
it's a really fun schedule to
Hmm.
watch as a fan. It's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
A lot of really talented teams, but also a lot of winnable games.
Yeah. With
A lot
that
of teams that
defense
think
and that offense, it definitely is. You have a lot of winnable games in there for sure.
so. Their over under is 9.5 wins.
You know what? I would take the over. I would.
I'll take the over too. I think they're a 10. I think they're a 12-1 team. They can go
12.
12
Wow.
here.
I have them at 10.5. Okay.
I can see them going 12 and a half this year.
12 and a, wow. Okay.
12. No, not and a half.
Okay.
Sorry. They can't lose at 1.5. Dude, I'm not saying they're tying a game. That's just going overboard.
No, but when I say 10.5, I mean it could go either way. I see them as a 10-11
Yeah.
win team. That's how I
Yeah.
got it. But
Man, also, the biggest wild card from the season on
mhm,
a lot of these schedules is definitely got to be the Dolphins.
for real.
I don't think there's a team that has as much like sway for how things could go.
No, for real, for real. That's no joke. Because
All
you
right.
really never know how that offense is gonna look until you actually see how is Tua going. I mean, what we've seen from camp, he looks really good. But
Yeah, but we'll see. Also, closing comments on the 49ers. I like the Robert and DJ signing
mhm,
to hopefully like minimize the loss of DJ Jones on the interior of that defensive line.
mhm,
We'll see if Niniche can ever live up to that 5-star top recruit he was coming out of high school.
yeah,
We'll see. I would like to see it because I would love to see the 49ers surround Nick Bosa with some help
mhm,
outside of just Armstead.
yeah.
But anywho, we are now on to the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, the you want to do the
Kyler
Rams
Murray.
next?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
No, you're good.
can go to the Rams, the reigning Super Bowl champions.
Yep. That's my
So
my original home.
Brett is originally from Los Angeles.
I miss it, but also I enjoy living moderate costing lifestyle, not paying $20 for a mediocre burger.
Yeah. Hey, I bet In and Out's burger is pretty
Oh,
solid.
In and Out, I love it for the price point. Honestly, nothing better. Probably biased because I grew up there, but like I'm talking, we went to sit down restaurant when we went and visited. We went to like some sit down restaurants, Hall of Mid, like
Hall of Mid.
Hall of Mid, for real.
Oh,
Um,
for me, from when it comes to like a fast food burger, like
mhm.
a drive-through burger, Culver's is definitely my favorite. Culver's
Yeah.
is so solid fast food chain. If anyone's curious, I am born and raised in the Midwest, big Midwest guy. So there is bias here.
And you know what? It's good that you acknowledge it.
So obviously
Completely fair.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything from
Obviously,
Culver's, I can't. There's like one thing on their menu I can eat, bro. Food allergies suck.
yeah. So you're all. Let's also put this out there. You're allergic to like milk and dairy.
Yep. All dairy products, unfortunately.
Yeah. So for anyone who knows Culver's and knows Wisconsin, cheese is in fucking everything.
Everything, or just all of the butter everywhere, dude. I wish I could
Shit
just
ton
eat
of butter.
anything. It's such a fast, easy drive-through.
Culver's, there's so much butter too.
Yeah.
Like literally, one of their burgers is a butter burger.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, but it's delicious. Terrible for you, but it's great.
You know what? The only fast food I've gotten since March, maybe April. The only time I've gotten fast food was Chick-fil-A. That's it.
Gross. Come on, Chick-fil-A.
Man, you know what? Honestly, it's not
Chick-fil-A.
even about the chicken, it's about their honey roasted barbecue. I just
For
grabbed
me,
like I
it's
grabbed 20 of the packs and dip.
for me, it's about the gays. Gotta support the gays, my friend.
Yeah, fuck Chick-fil-A, but the honey
Fuck
roasted barbecue,
Chick-fil-A.
we
They're
grabbed
not
20 of
getting my
those
money.
sauces. We grabbed 20 of those sauces and dip.
Uh, no. Disappointed, sir.
Hey, you know what? It's just about the
But
sauce.
but I also eat at McDonald's way too often. I have no shame. Anywho, so now we're going City of Angels,
City of
Los
Angels.
Angeles Rams.
Cooper Cup coming off the triple crown. I think he had the
Versus-
quadruple crown actually, because he also had the yards after contact, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, like your maybe.
I'm
Um,
fairly certain he led in yards after contact as well. Um,
it is, I have no idea, but he had probably one of the best seasons ever
yeah.
by a wide receiver.
And the crazy thing is, it wouldn't surprise me if he followed up with a similar, not quite as productive, but it wouldn't shock me because of his rapport with Stafford and because of his work ethic. It really wouldn't surprise me if he followed it up with another fantastic year.
Oh no, it wouldn't shock me either, especially since it's not looking like Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be coming back anytime soon.
No.
It-
They they do still have some
and
other
also,
weapons. They got Allen
they
Robinson.
signed, yes, they signed Allen
Yeah.
Robinson. Um, but bad news for them. Who's the wide receiver from Florida they have? Um, look up his
Ben
name.
Jefferson? No, I don't know.
Yes, Ben
Oh,
Jefferson.
okay.
Yeah, Ben Jefferson is actually just had surgery, so he's not likely to play week 1,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, I think the other thing that we should talk about is losing Von Miller.
Yeah,
Um,
losing Von Miller was big for them.
that's really detrimental. That Super Bowl team last year was fucking stacked.
Oh yeah,
I do
they,
want to say that Aaron Donald locked that shit down and is definitely the reason that
oh,
they won, but they wouldn't have
sure
had the
does.
pressure um, without having Von Miller like pushing the tempo all
Yeah,
game.
it did suck losing Sebastian Joseph Day to the Chargers though. That
Yeah.
was a big loss on the defensive line. Um, Robert Woods trade, but adding Bobby Wagner, that was a pretty big get.
Yes, I agree.
That was pretty solid for him. They're really hoping on some of the younger players on the roster really stepping up.
Hmm.
The thing that really doesn't help the Rams is not having a lot of very high draft picks.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
really have to hit.
Fuck them picks.
Yeah, fuck them picks. Fuck them picks until you're at a position to where you need those picks to step up.
Yeah, but I think so. Obviously,
To a certain point in roster building, it's on. You need these draft picks after a certain point.
yeah, it's like so. The thing that I think is really interesting is like the Rams stacked their team for 1 year. Like that last year was their like big year. I don't think Stafford has like more than 3 or 4 really productive years left. Um,
Yeah,
Cup.
they'll still be good next year.
Oh yeah,
They'll still
I
be
agree with that.
very good next year. I just because that defense is still going to be very good. Aaron
Yes,
Donald is still the best player in football.
Jalen
Jalen
Ramsey
Ramsey is
is
the
the
best
best corner.
quarterback in the
Yeah.
NFL. Even though he was getting coached in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but honestly, okay, I the salt has worn off a little bit. I can admit I really don't think there's going to be a better quarterback receiver connection than that for probably the next 5 years. I really can't
Oh,
see it. Yeah,
Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow.
I
If
really
Joe
can't see it.
Burrow had if Joe Burrow had the offensive line he's going to next year with
Hmm.
in the Super Bowl, the Bengals would have won.
9 out of 10 odds. Yeah, Aaron Donald would have had to pull some Superman shit out of his ass.
I
But
know, but I do think Joe Burrow would have had enough time in that last play.
oh yeah, I agree. Um, the Rams, basically, long story short, there are multiple downgrades. They still have a fantastic roster. Their schedule is kind of pretty difficult. Obviously, they won the Super Bowl, so they're given a pretty difficult schedule. They open up with the Bills. Bills Rams is going to be a really good gauge of how this Rams team is going to look without Vaughn, without Odell, and Vaughn's
It's
going to be playing for the
not
Bills.
gonna play. Yeah,
Yeah, so
he's
there's
not gonna
that.
play against them.
This game is honestly my half for the Rams. It's really a toss up for me. Um,
I I want to say Rams, but this game is gonna be very close.
I
I
I think it's going to be the Bills personally.
You think you're
I
gonna take the
really do.
Bills?
I do.
I'm gonna take the Rams week one just because I do believe in their
All
defense.
right, this done.
Um, I just don't.
So I remember.
Very good. I believe in the Rams. I believe in their defense. They were. I believe in their secondary to be able to slow down Josh Allen. I. I think they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be able to pull out a close game.
So
I think being at home is gonna definitely be a big help as
oh,
well.
absolutely. But what I feel is because the Rams roster overall got worse. And I
Oh,
think
it
you
definitely
could you
got
could
worse.
dispute it, but I really they got worse. They lost a few of those really key pieces. The Bills are going to shock everyone next year. The Bills receiving roster, I mean, and they draft the oh my god, the running back they drafted. I'm drawing a complete blank. Um Dalvin
Are
Cook's
you talking
brother,
about
right?
James Cook?
Yes,
James
James.
Cook.
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember his name.
James Cook, why running back out of the University of Georgia?
So yeah, I mean, you may have Jalen Ramsey lock down Diggs, but I that roster is gonna be nasty. That the Bills roster is
It's
gonna be
gonna be a great
so.
team. It's gonna be a great team.
I think
I'm
the
not.
Bills are gonna be the wake up for the Rams week one. I think they're gonna be like, oh shit, we don't want a Super Bowl hangover year. We better get our shit in gear. And then I think they go one,
I think this.
2, 3 wins in a row after that. The Cowboys game, so they play the Falcons, the Cardinals, and the
Mm,
49ers after that. Like I said, I think
no,
they split the series. What's up?
I think the first game they lose to the 49ers.
Okay.
Just because it's a rough start for them. Like you said, Bills, Falcons is a winnable game.
Yeah.
Cardinals is a very tough game.
But they're without D
49ers,
Hop.
I will, even without D Hop, they still have a couple. Well, I guess we can talk about that game now. Even they still have Hollywood Brown, they still have AJ Green, they still
Hmm.
have Rondale Moore. They have a bunch of wide receivers still. They still have at least a decent running game. Kyler Murray is still a
Kyler
very
Murray.
hard player to game plan for. Yeah, he's a hard player to game plan
Yeah.
for. A quarterback that can play every part of the field,
Hmm.
has a big arm, and he's a great athlete.
And he's always going to
Probably
be himself, which is going to make it incredibly hard because he's one of those players that he can either scramble and get 25 or he can throw and get 40, and you never know which is which.
and and with the way he runs, like he's not always. Most of the time, he's scrambling to try to buy time
Yes.
to throw the ball compared to
Mostly
just
to D Hop.
scram.
Yeah.
Mostly the D Hop or Christian Kirk. He is gonna miss
True.
having Christian Kirk,
Yeah.
but we're. I think it may be an addition by subtraction because now we get to see Rondale Moore play
Yeah.
that Christian Kirk role, and Rondale Moore is just a better athlete.
Yeah, higher ceiling for sure. Um,
I would take him in that first game.
all right.
I'll take the Cardinals in that first game against the Rams.
Here's my reasoning.
I,
After that Bills game, I think that's really going to be a wake up call for them. They're going to just steamroll the Falcons. I don't think that's going to be a close game at all. I think they're going to win by like 2 touchdowns.
oh yeah,
Rams
I
Falcons.
agree.
Okay. Rams Cardinals. Here's my reasoning. Without DeAndre Hopkins, you're going to be able to ISO whichever, I mean, Hollywood Brown, whoever you want. You're going to be able to ISO him with Jalen Ramsey. That's going to be a shutdown matchup, and you're going to rely on Kyler to scramble. Again, with Vaughn being gone, that's going to be tough, but Aaron Donald should be able to pump out a pretty good performance, not having to worry about. Kyler's going to be scrambling or looking to throw a lot of the game. They're not going to be able to run it. They're not going to be able to force it up the mid. And then going into the game against the 49ers, that's going to be Trey Lance's first meeting with Aaron Donald. Having his primary receiver take it away most of the game by J-Ram, I think that's definitely going to be a wake-up call for him. So that's why I think they win the first game, and then I think that the 49ers win the second game. Um,
I will say this for the 49ers. there really isn't a primary receiver.
That's fair.
Really,
But I mean,
Debo
Debo,
Samuel
yeah.
was kind of like the main like component of the offense last year.
Yeah,
That really differs week to week with them.
true. That's fair.
Like
Regardless,
there's
you're getting one receiver taken away every play.
yeah, but yeah, I maybe honestly with the way Kyle Shanahan like can like put some things up together, like you could have Debo Samuel even run around in the backfield. They are not going to have Jalen Ramsey try to guard him out of the backfield.
That's fair. That's true.
There's definitely ways that Kyle Shanahan is going to try to scheme stuff up.
For sure. And
Cardinals game, the first one, they may lose the first one. The Cardinals might lose that first matchup. The second
yeah.
one,
No, I think with D Hop back and fresh. No.
D Hop back, it may be a little tough.
Uh,
Because that receiving core may be a little rough for those first 6 games.
mhm.
But man, those last 11 is gonna be not fun to watch.
When you get D Hop back and healthy, yeah.
Then Hollywood Brown is just a number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And already has had chemistry with Kyler because that was his quarterback at Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't there's no replicating that college connection either.
Yeah.
Like what Stafford and Cup have is really good, but like having someone be your quarterback for at least 2 years in college, that's
It's cool. It's cool when you get to see it happen. Like it happened, like Derek Carr and Devontae Adams are now back. So
Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
There's a couple of examples of it. So now we're gonna go to the LA Rams win-loss total on the year.
Oh well, I mean, I think they lose against the Cowboys next. We were just in October.
Oh yeah. So I think they can beat the Cowboys. I don't think they'll lose to the Cowboys.
You know what? The Cowboys have one game every year that's either really close or just a win for no reason. I think this is going to be it. I think they dominate the Panthers. They split the series with the 49ers. I think the 49ers win the second one. It doesn't really matter win first or second. Bucks Rams is going to be an interesting game. Jensen shouldn't be back. Yeah. I really don't know on this game.
If it's no Ryan Jensen, that's big just because you can then match up Aaron Donald more on the inside.
Oh, yeah. That interior is going to get shredded.
Brady's at his worst when he gets interior pressure.
Yes. It's if you have like one of your wings out, it's as long as you have that center, you're fine. But not having the center, not having that like anchor for your line is really bad.
Let's see. And then
Cardinals on November 13th. I think the Cardinals take this one. Like I said, healthy D-Hop, and when you have all of those other guys, when you have such a deep receiving core, when you have just such a complete offense as a whole, I think the Cardinals will win this one. Versus the Saints, that's going to be another interesting game.
Yeah,
I don't actually know.
That's going to be a toss-up. Chiefs, that's going to be another toss-up.
I think the Chiefs win that one.
I could see the Chiefs in that game.
Rams Seahawks, I should not be close. There's no reason why that should be close.
Yeah, the Rams should win that game. Raiders, that's gonna be a tough game.
I agree.
Hard for it to be in prime time.
Yeah.
Green Bay.
That's an exciting one. I have the Packers winning.
Yeah, I was about to say I think the Packers are gonna win that one. Broncos Rams. That one's gonna be a toss-up.
Now, what do you think?
Oh, actually, no. I'll take Rams. Actually, I think the Rams are gonna win that game.
I think so too.
The Broncos' offensive line is a liability that people aren't talking about.
Yeah, and I mean they have no depth at all. One injury and they're fucked.
Yeah. Chargers Rams. I think the Chargers are actually going to be the better team in Los Angeles this year.
I agree.
Seattle. I think they're going to beat Seattle.
Yes.
Finish out the year on a high note.
Same.
So their over/under is 10.5 wins. I'll take the under.
Yeah, I have them at 10.
I'll take the under. Honestly, I don't think they hit 10. I think they hit a Super Bowl hangover this year.
I don't think it's going to be as bad though.
I still think they're going to be good. I don't think they're going to be like getting blown out by anybody.
No.
But I think they're going to lose close games.
Maybe. For me, they're definitely the second best team in the division. Um, I don't know. I think I still like the Rams at about 10 wins. I would take the under, but I wouldn't bet on more than 10 wins.
Yeah. Right. So, so we're both going with the under 10.5 ones.
Yes.
All right. So we doing Arizona Cardinals or
You're.
Seattle Seahawks?
Let's hit the Cardinals.
Cardinals. All right. Let's go with the Arizona Cardinals. They open. So I'm really excited for Week 1 this year.
Yeah.
Arizona Cardinals, Kansas City Chiefs. I wish DeAndre Hopkins didn't have a suspension,
Yeah.
like less than 1% of a PED in his system.
Yeah, real.
Literally more of a percent of DNA of like Deshaun Watson was on like some lady than what was in D Hop's system.
Uh,
It is absolutely insane.
yeah, and let's talk about how they have an equal suspension currently.
Yeah, they
Um,
currently do.
we're
It's
gonna talk about that situation on a different
yeah,
day, but current
yeah.
as it stands right now with the recommended suspension, they
Being
both have
six
the
games
same.
is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and Calvin Ridley has a whole season, by the way, when he
Yeah.
wasn't playing and bet on his own team. So we'll talk about that another day. That should be an exciting episode. But for today, we'll just smile and wave and
Smile
carry
and
on.
wave, boys. Smile and wave. So, biggest loss, obviously, for the Cardinals was losing Chandler Jones.
Yes.
Free agency, signed with the Raiders. That hurts their pass rush, but they still have J.J. Watt.
Yes.
So I feel like they'll be fine. They'll be okay. They're
Hmm.
not gonna be world beaters like when it comes to that category, but I don't think they're gonna be terrible.
No.
Um, Zach Ertz re-signed with them. I think that was pretty nice.
Hmm.
They have three really solid tight ends.
I really like Trey McBride. I think he
So
definitely was the best tight end in the draft class.
I I think it was Isaiah Likely,
Okay.
but Jimmy Bride was still a really good tight end in the class. I I think they got one of the best tight ends in the class.
Hmm.
I think him, Zach Ertz, and Max Williams being the three tight ends on the team
Hmm.
is awesome. And it's really interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how Cliff deploys all three because I think all three guys are gonna get playing time.
Yeah.
I want to see how he does it in his like style of the like spread offense.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if they do it like the Cowboys do, or if they're trying to utilize it more as like one blocking, one receiving, or like how exactly it's gonna work.
I think Max Williams is definitely the best blocker out of all of
Yes.
them, but I think they're gonna definitely try to find ways to just use them as receivers.
Hmm.
Um, I think they're just gonna try to find ways for Zach Ertz to use like leverage and use more of his like use his brain. He went to Stanford.
Hmm.
Use like route running know-how to like be able to get open and to like get first downs, get big plays that way to try to like minimize what you're losing with D Hop.
Hmm.
There's pretty much it's just holding on until your true X number one receiver can come back.
Hmm.
Trying to replace that with the rest of the unit. I think they should be able to do that. They did re-sign AJ Green. We'll see if he can still be solid this year.
Hmm.
You know, he just needs to be when DeAndre Hopkins comes back. He just needs to be the fourth to fifth
Yeah.
option.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Like in the first 6 weeks, if he can even be a third option, they can definitely win
Sure.
some of those games. But when D Hop is back, yeah.
Hollywood Brown's gonna be the number one,
Yes.
and then the second best option in the passing game after that's gonna probably be Zach Ertz
Probably. Yeah.
and Rondale Moore. Like he just needs to be able to move the chains.
Well, I was gonna say James Conner can definitely help in the run game and pass game.
Look,
Um,
I think I think my hot take is James Conner is just okay. He just got a bunch of opportunities last year.
no, I mean I think that's completely fair and valid, but I think he does have pretty decent hands, and I think he can definitely help out.
Yeah. I think he's definitely an amazing human being. I will say that. I think
True.
he's an amazing human
Absolutely.
being.
Yeah.
His story is fantastic. I don't think many people are tough enough to overcome everything he came and still make it to the NFL
Oh,
and be a
absolutely.
good NFL player.
Yeah. I really do think he has good
Aside
hands.
from my shit talking.
No, it's not. It's just a valid criticism of the player, not the person. But
Oh
I
yeah.
do think he has good hands.
My only
That's
problem
all
with
I'm
him as
saying.
a person is his choice in haircut.
That is valid.
Haircuts are bad.
That we can agree on.
But also, shout out to Kyler Murray for talking his truth about that stupid homework independent study clause in his contract and
Yeah.
getting them to take that shit out.
So, I mean, the way that you can look at that is like the way that he responded to it. I feel like was both a very cocky and arrogant way of responding to it, but it was also the perfect way to get everybody off of your Johnson. Um,
Well, I mean, I would be pissed off personally if I was him.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
No,
would
but
be pissed off.
what he was saying about like with a guy of my height or whatever to say that you think that I'd be able to come out in here and do all of this without any film study, I appreciate that, but it's just not true. Like that, I mean, obviously he is very physically gifted because he is an exceptional runner, scrambler when he needs to be, and he's so good at scrambling to find that time to pass.
And he was also a top 10 draft pick in the MLB draft.
Yeah, he was a first round pick in both drafts. Yeah.
A top 10 pick in both drafts, even more than
True.
that. Like,
True.
he was like the ninth overall pick by the A's.
Hmm.
And I don't think it's necessarily cocky. I think your quarterback had a great point when he said it's kind of funny how guys like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, how they get unnecessary criticism,
Hmm.
how black quarterbacks have to always constantly prove themselves, and how they have to play a certain kind of way.
Yeah. And it's like whenever they scramble or like try to extend a play, they get told that they're playing street ball. Yeah, I think that's stupid.
Yeah, but fucking also,
Josh
let's be
Allen
real.
makes the same play and they're like, "Wow, look at the athleticism."
And let's be real. If Carson Wentz wasn't white, he wouldn't be playing for his third team this year.
Ah,
With the
yeah.
chance to start.
Yeah. No, that's 1,000% true.
Because people would be saying the same things that people want to say about Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
They would be saying, "Oh, he's injury prone," because Carson Wentz is injury prone. "Oh, he runs
Yeah.
around too much, turns the ball over. He's not a good leader."
Yeah.
And this kind of shit gets said about Kyler Murray too. And
Yeah. I mean,
so
Kyler gets it even worse too because of his
yeah, because
stature.
he's also short.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it was one kind of fucked for the Arizona Cardinals to even invite that in.
Yeah.
So I'm on board for the way that Kyler approached it.
Well, I
I'm
meant
all for him.
specifically that, not the remarks about I meant in terms of the physical height thing. But also it kind of I was listening to a bunch of different takes on this, and one of the interesting things that I heard this morning was so the contract obviously came from the higher ups in the I won't get too into this, but the contract obviously came from the owners, GM, whatever you want to say, but there's no way that the owners or GM would have put that clause in there without the head coach saying something. Because the head coach would have to be the one that's in the locker room that would say, I feel like you don't film study enough. Why would the owner or GM put that in there? I think it was Shannon Sharp
Yeah.
who said that. So it's definitely kind of an indictment on Cliff Kingsbury and kind of
Well,
how.
it's interesting because as it's very heavily documented, Kyler is Cliff's boy too.
Hmm.
He's been wanting Kyler ever since he was the head coach at Texas Tech.
Yeah. So it's
So
just interesting kind of how that plays out and kind of how they're treating him with like the telling him that he's the immature one and everything. And I think that's kind of how it's like with everything that's gone on in the offseason, kind of bringing that, I guess cocky is not the right word, bringing swagger to your response, kind of being confident in yourself in the response that you give, but kind of making it humorous at the same time. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
It's not how most quarterbacks would respond, but for him, for someone who the media has given this persona of being immature or, whatever, I think it's an interesting way for him to respond personally.
I I saw this funny joke on Twitter. I was like, I think this is the first time an Asian American athlete has ever been scolded about not doing their homework on national television.
Oh my God.
Because for anyone who doesn't know, Kyler Murray is biracial. His father is he's a black guy, African American. His mom's Asian. I don't know, like of Asian American descent. I don't know exactly what. Don't cancel me or any of that jazz. I'm not 100% sure. But it was still really funny seeing that. I kind of also like to see it as half glass, like glass half full as well,
Hmm.
because he's this good, supposedly without hardcore film study.
Yeah. That was
How,
exactly his
how
point.
good could he fucking be
Yeah.
if he did? Like,
Yeah. Also, one more thing. I want to give a shout out to NFL Twitter because NFL Twitter is so much better than NBA Twitter. NBA Twitter is so fucking toxic. NFL Twitter is usually pretty funny. But
and there's parts of it that are toxic.
oh, I mean, there's parts of anything
And
that's
one
toxic.
bad thing about Deshaun Watson.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can say plenty of things bad about Deshaun Watson, but
So can like 20 to 30 other people, but that's for
it's
the courts.
a lot of people, and not just those individuals.
All right.
Fuck,
So,
fuck Deshaun.
yep. There we go. So let's go to the Cardinals' schedule. They open up the year with the Chiefs. That's gonna be a tough game to
I
start
think
the
that's an
year.
L.
I think it's gonna be a light show.
Hmm.
I think the Cardinals are gonna win Week 1.
Nah, not without D Hop.
Not without DeAndre Hopkins.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna take him Week 1.
Okay.
Week 2, Raiders. That's gonna be fucking awful.
Yeah.
That's gonna suck. 'Cause you're playing against Chandler Jones.
Yep.
Their defense is improved. Max Crosby is a really good edge player. Really fucking improved this past season.
Hmm.
The offense that they're playing against is very solid. Devontae
Yeah.
Adams is at worst a top 3 wide receiver in the
Oh,
NFL.
I think we can say he's number one. I'm completely fine
To
with
me,
saying
he's the number
one.
one guy.
Same.
To me, he's number one. As of right now, he's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Hmm.
He's number one per routes ran. He led the league last year.
Yep.
Was ahead of Cooper Cup. So in case if anyone was wondering about that, so
I'm completely fine with him at number one.
I'll take him per route. And you have to do with Darren Waller being essentially a wide receiver playing tight end. Extremely fast, good route runner, freak of nature athlete. Josh Jacobs, good running back. Kenyon Drake,
Mhm.
and of course the new scrappy white slot receiver everyone loves. What's his name? Kid that went to Clemson. That doesn't really even look like a football player.
I honestly could not tell you. Names are my worst enemy.
I'm just typing Hunter Renfrow.
Oh God, yeah.
Just a funny name. Oh, and Hunter Renfrow. So it's gonna be really tough to stop defensively. Offensively, it's gonna be interesting to move the ball. That's a toss-up game. Rams for that first meeting. That's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
So,
a tough game.
I
Cardinals.
I think the
good
Cardinals
running
lose the
game.
first 3 weeks.
They could lose the first 3 weeks. It's a tough start. Their first 5 games,
Mhm.
their basement, their first 5 weeks is 1-4.
I completely agree with that. But fortunately,
'Cause then
within
you
that
just-
is the Panthers, and then next is the Seahawks.
Well, no. After that's the
The
Eagles.
Eagles and then the Seahawks. Yeah,
Eagles is gonna be a tough game.
I agree.
And
Man, I
then they play
think.
the
Wait,
Seahawks.
let me look at this. One,
Then they
two,
have
three,
DeAndre
four.
Hopkins back.
So yeah, so they don't have D Hop for the Eagles yet. Man, I think the Eagles win that too. I think they start the year 2-4.
They could.
They could be 3-3 though. I don't know.
It's tough because Kyler. If you look at these matchups and you just want to compare quarterback to quarterback, Mahomes is better than Kyler.
Yes.
Mahomes and Derek Carr comparable, at the very least, if not Kyler.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, comparable. If not, honestly, I would honestly take Kyler over Stafford.
Same, but without the number one weapon, I would give it to the Rams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kyler's world's better than Baker Mayfield
Oh, and Sam Darnold, no question.
and Sam Darnold. Eagles, Kyler's better than Jalen Hurts.
Yes, but they have.
Yes, but that defensive line is extremely deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two really good corners.
The receiving core.
The receiving core is very good.
Running back tandem.
The running back tandem is not that good for the Eagles.
Well, it's better than nothing. They're solid.
Their offensive line is very good.
Yeah.
Okay. If the Eagles had Saquon, I wish Saquon Barkley was just not on the Giants. There's so many teams on instead. He would just be so much better. The Eagles are one of them. The 49ers are another one that I always think about. I wish Saquon Barkley played for.
I agree.
Yeah, the Eagles would be fun to watch.
The Eagles would be a Super Bowl team with Saquon.
Ooh, that's ballsy. Maybe.
Okay, if Saquon was healthy, with rookie Saquon, they would be. With Saquon now, I don't know how the injuries have. I don't know how they've affected him.
Seahawks. I think they're gonna sweep the Seahawks.
Yeah, absolutely.
This year.
What do you think about the Vikings? Oh, sorry.
They'll be the Vikings. They'll be the Vikings.
I skipped that row. Yeah, Saints Cardinals is an interesting one because Kamara and D Hop will both be back for this game.
I think Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals. I'm pretty sure the Cardinals are also at home.
I'm very high on the Saints, but because the Cardinals are at home, I'll give it to them. Then it's Vikings. They win against the Vikings. Yeah, they sweep the Seahawks.
Rams. No, I think at worst they split the series with the Rams probably.
I agree with that.
49ers. I think they also probably split the series with the 49ers.
I agree with that. I think they win the first one because I think they're at home the first one in November, right? Yes, they are.
Actually, November 21st.
Yes, they're at home for that game.
Then they play the Chargers.
I think they lose to the Chargers.
Days after that, yeah, I think they lose to the Chargers too.
It's a short week, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Patriots.
They beat the Patriots.
Yeah. Broncos. I think they beat the Broncos. Yeah. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I think they lose to the Bucks. I do. I think they. That's on Christmas Day. I think they lose to the Bucks.
Yeah, they could.
I think Jensen will be back.
In Arizona.
Yeah.
So that could make it interesting. I don't know. Sounds a toss-up. Falcons. I think they should beat the Falcons.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
and then I think the 49ers win this one because the 49ers are at home.
Arizona Cardinals 8.5.
I take the over.
I'll take the over too. I think they can get the 9 wins.
I have them at 9.5. Yeah, I think that's completely fair.
Okay, so you got the good teams out of the way.
Yeah, this one we don't really have. There's a few good things to say. DK Metcalf got that nice extension.
DK Metcalf got a very nice extension, very well deserved. Best player on that fucking team.
Also,
Lockett is also very nice.
True, I like Lockett. He's very. When Lockett is consistent, he is he's a fringe wide receiver 1 when he's consistent. When he's not, not even a flex option.
Oh yeah, for fantasy football.
Yeah.
Fantasy football purposes.
Yes.
But I don't think they're gonna be very good.
Yeah, I think they have one of the worst records. It's definitely a tank year.
Well, it's a tank year for sure. You are rebuilding. You are just hoping. They were so bad. I forgot Adrian Pearson took snaps for them last year.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a few big things to mention with the Seahawks right now. Pete Carroll has COVID. I really hope he recovers. He seems to be like a tough old guy, so I really hope he recovers well.
Mhm.
One of their running
Um,
backs just retired.
Chris Carson
Chris
retired
Carson
because of
retired.
neck issues.
Yeah.
Um, Rashad Penny is slated to be their workhorse.
Yeah, we'll
Even
see if he can stay healthy.
well, we'll also see if he even fucking keeps that job. They just fucking drafted a kid from Michigan State in the second.
Oh yeah, Kenneth Walker. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they drafted Kenneth Walker, then maybe take his job. So gonna take his job. Run for our jobs. Um,
Speaking of the draft though, I actually really liked the Charles Cross pick. I think that was really really good for their early pick. I had Charles Cross very high in my mocks.
and I do like Boye Moffett. He
Yes,
to
same.
to get a get a good project player, has high athletic upside, because at least then you're giving yourself a chance.
Yes.
Because let's be real, this roster for the most part, you're in rebuild mode. You're just
Absolutely.
you're getting core young pieces that you can build together.
And they have some of
Abraham,
those, some really good ones.
honestly, this I like their draft class.
Tariq Woolen was I had him ranked a little bit higher too. I was very surprised he fell to the fifth round, but
And
um,
Kobe Bryant was a solid corner opposite of Sauce Gardner.
yep, out of
Like this
Cincinnati.
is
Yep.
like they're not. It's not a bad draft class.
No.
It's just their roster right now is a little depleted of talent,
Yeah.
especially after Bobby Wagner leaving. Russell Wilson, their quarterback, is no longer with them.
Yeah.
Carlos Dunlap just signed with your Chiefs.
Yeah, they had a lot. So here's their dead cap this year: Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, Dwayne Brown, Quandre Diggs, Benson Mayowa, Gerald Everett, Kerry Hyder, Chris Carson, Carlos Dunlap, Akella Witherspoon, Chris Carson, Ethan Pochik. Sorry if I fucked that up. Cedric Ogwe, and Phil Haynes. That's a lot. They had like 50 mil in dead cap this year. Um,
Yeah, still not
when
hanging with fucking Falcons though.
Okay, but when your starting quarterback is between Geno Smith and Drew Lock, you're about Falcons territory because at least they have Desmond Ritter to back it up.
They're Yeah, I hope Gino starts because that'd be such a good story. Because Gino didn't really have much of a support system there in New York. When he first came there, it was like who's gonna eventually be the starter between him and Mark Sanchez. So it was already a media circus. Then they fucking brought in Tim Tebow, and fucking every time Tim Tebow took a snap as a personal protector as a fucking punt team,
Hmm.
everyone would go wild over it. Like, man, I don't blame it. I don't blame Gino. All the fucking tabloids talking shit when he tried like changing hands behind the back
Yeah,
and fumbled.
I feel
You
bad for
know,
Geno. I wish he had a better
if he
career.
would have juked someone and hit that behind the back move, he would have been on Sports Center.
I just realized I completely forgot to swap the picture when we started talking about this. Enjoy this picture of shirtless Pete Carroll. I apologize, but
Yes. Um, Shirtless Pete Carroll and DK Metcalf who just eats candy all fucking day.
equivalent level god bodies. Um, Geno Smith. Yeah, Geno Smith could have had so much of a better career. I feel bad. I honestly really do. I feel like he's gotten way too much shit for what he's done and who I don't know. I wish this wasn't. I feel like this is probably going to be his last stop.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's okay to eventually fade into the background.
Yeah.
Like when it's your time, it's your time. And I'm so excited for Baker Mayfield to try to hold on until he's 40.
I mean,
Um,
unfortunately, and this is not a joking matter. This is a very serious matter. With white quarterbacks, I mean, you have a greater chance because they don't see you as the one who's going to run or take risks or do whatever. They're going to see you as a pocket passer, and if you need a backup, you want a pocket passer, not somebody who's going to scramble and turn it over. So,
yeah. Or may just make him a coach.
oh
Anywho.
God. I don't even
Um,
know if it's worth going through the Seahawks schedule. Do you know what their over under is?
so I will. Let's talk about their season opener at least.
Okay.
Denver, their season opener
They're
at
gonna get
Seattle.
drilled. They're gonna get drilled.
At Seattle, in their first game against their former quarterback Russell Wilson. That is
Yeah.
going to be a fun game. They did it in prime time for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Good on you, NFL, for being dickheads to the fucking Seahawks. I'm pretty sure that's the Monday night game too,
Let me
if
look
I'm
real
not
quick. It's
mistaken.
September 12th.
Yeah, it's the Monday night game.
That is September 12th is Monday night. Yes.
So good on you. So it's 5.5.
Oh, under. Yeah. I don't see this. They're
I
being
don't see him
incredibly lucky. They don't win more than 4 games. Being lucky. I can't see them winning 3 games really.
They're competing for either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud.
I think Chicago is probably going to be the worst team, followed directly by Seattle.
Seattle might be worse.
You know, just because they don't have. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Justin Fields is
Seattle
obviously
might
a
be
much
worse.
better quarterback, but just with the offensive line of Chicago and the receiving core of Chicago and the running back
Chicago's offensive
non-existence,
line might be worse.
yeah,
I'll give you their offensive line is worse.
they have
Receivers
no
are
receivers.
worse.
Their running backs are non-existent.
Darnell, okay. I will be the first to point out when Bears fans are a little overzealous about him, but Darnell Mooney is still a solid starter in the NFL. He's a solid receiver.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I will fight for that man for this
Okay,
time.
we got one
But
wide receiver two versus Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. What
yeah,
next?
Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is better than the majority of the Seahawks tight ends.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that.
But
I do
I
like that the Seahawks got Shelby Harris. I do like Shelby Harris. Um,
Shelby Harris was nice to get in that trade. Um, Noah Fant is actually a very nice tight end.
I agree.
Very athletic. That was a good get for them.
The Seahawks are going to be bad. The only games they're really going to be contesting in are maybe versus the Falcons on September 25th. Um,
They'll compete in their division.
maybe
Division
against the
games are always
Panthers
weird.
and the
Division games
Jets.
are weird.
Yeah, but those are the only games that it's like looking at them statistically, they have a potential chance of winning. I really see them being a 2-win team. Maybe I think 3 just because there's one that's always fucky. But
Yeah, I would say about 3, 4 wins. All right. Oh,
anything else to
we,
add in our last episode here?
oh man, just oh, I'm good actually. I'm good.
All right. Well,
We
thank
we
you.
got,
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. So this was the final episode for our off-season kind of wrap-ups for all the teams. Feel free to go back and visit the past episodes.
Real.
Yeah, like and subscribe. We're gonna be coming back with some more stuff before, maybe a couple more episodes before the season starts.
Oh
But
yeah. We
it's
gotta
like you
we gotta
guys
do
were
quarterback rankings. We gotta talk about Super Bowl matchups preseason.
yeah.
We got some good stuff cooking.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Like and subscribe helps us out a lot. Thank you for your support. If you stayed until the end, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think, and we will see you with the next episode. Peace out.